What's going on, guys? My name is Aldenero and welcome to a different kind of a video today where we're going to be comparing the stats of Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi over the calendar year of 2014 and hopefully come to some kind of conclusion over who deserves to win the Ballon d'Or. Since 2010, Messi has won all but one of the Ballon d'Or awards, with Ronaldo beating him to it last year after what was a fantastic season from the Portuguese player. The stats that backed up Ronaldo's award triumph are on the screen now, and he was without question the deserved winner of it, a fact that was kind of universally accepted at the time. He'd played more games than Messi, who I feel as though he lagged behind due to injuries in what was a strange season for Barcelona, where although they won the league title in La Liga, they were humiliated in a 7-0 aggregate demolition at the hands of Bayern Munich in the semi-final of the Champions League. But I feel as though over the last 2 years or so, there's been a huge shift in the perception of both Ronaldo and Messi, with the image of Ronaldo being a sort of a spoiled child who wants everything his way. That's been quelled a lot by the media, and the idea of Messi being an insecure player on the brink of losing his spark, that's been something that's been talked up an awful lot by the media, and it's kind of hard to gauge over whether or not it's a fair fight for this year's Ballon d'Or. I also want to say that, at this point in the video, I know it's not technically a two-horse race because the World Cup winning goalkeeper Manuel Neuer is being touted to win by certain sections of the footballing community, and while he is genuinely one of the most entertaining and insanely brilliant goalkeepers I've ever seen, I just can't see him winning the Ballon d'Or. In fact, I can't see a goalkeeper ever winning the Ballon d'Or, and I think that, although it could definitely change tonight, I think it'd be amazing if it happened, and it's just something that I can't see ever happening. But let's take a look at the stats over the calendar year of 2014 and see how Ronaldo and Messi compared. Overall for club and country, Leo Messi played 66 games, scoring 58 goals and getting 21 assists. These stats, by the way, come from a website called MessiVsRonaldo.net, and it's pretty cool the way it's laid out. So the Ronaldo scored 61 goals in total for club and country in just 60 games and racked up 22 assists overall, which may surprise people to know that he actually had more assists than Messi in the calendar year. I find it interesting that Ronaldo is still perceived as being absolutely better than Messi, despite this year where he only got 3 more goals, albeit in much less minutes played than Messi. But Messi won Best Player at the World Cup award. He became the all-time top scorer in La Liga history, and I believe the all-time top scorer in the Champions League, although he can still be beaten to that by Ronaldo at any point. Whereas Ronaldo scored in the Champions League final in a Madrid derby demolition of Atletico in order to lift Madrid's 10th Champions League trophy, which was pretty impressive as well. Most of the time, I find when people compare Messi and Ronaldo, it's from a competitive point of view, and one is always undoubtedly better than the other because of what team that they support, the person talking, what teams they dislike, or what country they're from, or what kind of football they prefer to watch, or what version of each player's off-the-field persona they've chosen to believe, having read it in a newspaper. That's the thing that kind of irks me the most, was that I was reading an article on, I think it was possibly The Telegraph, about these players, and one was about Messi, how, oh my god, he dodges tax payments and he's acting like a spoiled brat because he wants to get rid of the Barcelona manager, and he wants to join Chelsea because he followed Felipe Luis on Instagram. Shut up. That's not how the world works. You're reading the same way that Ronaldo doesn't genuinely sit at home tearing up because Gareth Bale is a more expensive player than him. Ronaldo doesn't really care about that as much as people think he cares about that. And at the same time, it used to be Ronaldo who was the spoiled child in the football world. People would look at Ronaldo, see him dive on the pitch, and say things like, oh well, he dives, that's something that's crept into his game since he moved abroad from the English Premier League. Or people would say just ridiculous things like that. Ronaldo crying on the pitch is somehow an example of how he can't handle defeat and things like that, and it's not like that at all. Personally, I believe that at their peaks, each of them, Messi edges just in front of Ronaldo, but on current form, I genuinely believe Ronaldo is the better player. But I don't think it's by as much as people think it is. I think that in 2013, Ronaldo was very obviously the better player, but I think that gap has been closed an awful lot by Messi, who appears to be nearing his best once again, but there's currently trouble behind the scenes at Barcelona, whereas Real Madrid have completely got their act together and they're performing very well with a huge blend of creative attacking players, whereas Barcelona are currently in the midst of what I feel is kind of a transitional period for them. They've taken Luis Enrique into the club, and it's rumoured that he's not even going to last there for that long, and Xavi hasn't really featured that much for them. They're trying to bring in players like Sergio Roberto and Rafinha as well, so it is definitely different. Like, if you go from having Xavi and Iniesta in your midfield to having just Iniesta and not really sure how to go about playing that same style after Pep Guardiola perfected it, and then we kind of saw the death of tiki-taka football at the World Cup as well. It's a tough period for Barcelona at the moment, but some people say that Messi is competing with Suarez and Neymar, so his job is harder, but Ronaldo is competing with Benzema, James Rodriguez, and the most expensive player in the history of football, Gareth Bale, so it kind of evens itself out. I feel like you always see people say stuff like, yeah, well, if Ronaldo had Xavi and Iniesta passing the ball to him, he would score way more goals, but at the same time, like, conversely, Messi does have those players passing it to him, but also I'm pretty sure that in the season where Messi scored like 91 goals or whatever it was, Xavi only got 14 assists and Iniesta only got 8 assists. Whereas Ronaldo in Real Madrid is set up to be the player who finishes an awful lot of chances, even though he's not necessarily the striker. So people also say, yeah, but if you put Messi into the position that Ronaldo is in the Real Madrid team, he would score way more goals, because Ronaldo statistically misses more chances than he scores because he gets so many chances. And I just find all of this, it's such hearsay and so pointless and so like speculative that I just don't know why people bother to talk about things like that. But I find it the strangest thing that people get extremely angry if you disagree with their idea over who the better player is, and it's always based on stupid tribal bullshit. Like, it's always, yeah, well, I'm a Man United fan, therefore Ronaldo's definitely better, or, well, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I hate Man United and I therefore hate Ronaldo, and therefore I prefer Messi, who's playing next to Suarez. And it's always just stuff like that. Those are two examples. Not every fan of either club is like that, disclaimer. But for me, it's just amazing that both of these players exist in the same timeline in the history of the sport, because I don't think there's ever been two players this good at the same time. I can think of numerous players in my lifetime who would or could have been considered the best in the world at one point, but none of them ever had to compete as fiercely with another equally skilled opponent in order to win some like universal opinion poll or whatever about who's better. I really enjoy watching Real Madrid. I think they're incredible. I think they do a very sort of unique thing when you're watching Real Madrid. They they can go all out attack and then they can change to defense and counter attack, and they can do that in a split second because their players are incredibly motivated like no other club I've ever seen before, and it's that different sort of section of styles that Real Madrid can do that makes them enjoyable for me to watch. And I enjoy watching Barcelona because I love that passing style of play. I think it's amazing. So for different reasons I enjoy watching both clubs, but I enjoy watching them both the same amount. If either Real Madrid or Barcelona is on TV, I'll watch it because I enjoy watching them. But for tonight, I think Ronaldo is going to win it, because the media's perception of players is always a really important thing when it comes to the Ballon d'Or, and the way they've reported on both players over the course of 2014 has just suggested to me that Ronaldo is going to be the favourite and he will be the one that wins it. But at the same time, I don't think a Leo Messi victory would be something that would surprise me either, because I remember he won the Best Player at the World Cup award and everybody complained about that, saying, oh, he didn't deserve it. But at the same time, if someone can come up with an argument over why it is deserved, then he deserves it, like, or at least some people agree with that. So I don't know who's gonna win. I reckon it'll be Ronaldo. It could be Messi. Neither would surprise me. I'd like to know who you guys think is gonna win and who actually deserves to win. But yeah, decided to just do this kind of a video for something different. I don't know why. I just felt like talking about it because it's a thing that I see on Twitter all the time, from fans of either player who were incredibly passionate and in some cases terrifyingly angry, and I just felt like talking about it. So there's that. So I'd love to know who you guys think is going to win, who deserves to win. If you guys want to bring your hateful comments about Messi and Ronaldo and who's better and why in the comment section below, do that. I would enjoy reading that too. But yeah, that's the end. I've been Aldenero. Thanks for watching.